It was the first Monday of the semester at Crestwood High, a place buzzing with students who walked the halls in cliques, groups, and gangs of chatter. But for Emily, the new girl, every step felt like walking through an unfamiliar storm. She had transferred quietly, keeping her head down, with thick glasses perched on her nose and books clutched tightly to her chest, projecting an image of shyness that most mistook for weakness. To everyone around, she was just another quiet student trying to survive high school, but beneath the silence, Emily carried a secret legacy of discipline, endurance, and strength. She was a black belt champion in Taekwondo, a title earned through years of sweat, training, and competitions her peers would never imagine she had been part of. That morning, as she walked into the cafeteria with her tray, searching nervously for a place to sit, the atmosphere shifted. Jason, the notorious school bully known for mocking anyone who didn't fit into his picture of cool, spotted her and smirked. He was surrounded by his group of loud friends, each laughing at his crude jokes and antics, eager for some entertainment at someone else's expense. "Hey, new girl," Jason called out, his voice dripping with mockery. "Why don't you sit here with us? You look lonely." Emily glanced up, unsure whether to ignore him or respond. But before she could make a choice, Jason picked up his steaming cup of coffee, pretending to offer it to her, and then deliberately tilted it forward, letting the hot liquid pour down the front of her white blouse. The cafeteria erupted in gasps, followed by bursts of cruel laughter from Jason's friends. The smell of coffee spread in the air as the hot liquid soaked Emily's clothes, her book slipping from her hands and falling to the ground with a dull thud. Jason chuckled loudly, puffing out his chest as if he had won some grand battle. "Oops, clumsy me," he mocked. "Guess you should watch where you're standing, new girl." His friends roared in agreement, slapping the table and chanting his name, while students sitting nearby whispered and stared, some sympathetic but too scared to intervene. Emily stood frozen for a moment, her fists clenched at her sides, the sting of humiliation burning deeper than the hot coffee on her skin. In her heart, she wanted to stay invisible, to not draw attention, but years of discipline in Taekwondo had taught her a principle she could not ignore: respect, self-control, and above all, the strength to stand up when someone crosses the line. She bent down slowly, picked up her soaked books, and placed them on the table with calm precision, her eyes locking with Jason's in a way that made him pause for the first time. The cafeteria, once filled with laughter, began to sense a shift in the air. Emily took a deep breath, straightened her posture, and in a voice firmer than anyone expected from the shy new girl, she said, "You think that was funny? Try laughing when you're the one on the floor." Jason scoffed, puffing up even more. "What are you gonna do? Cry? Or maybe run to the teacher?" His friends chuckled again, but their laughter was weaker now, uncertain. Emily dropped her tray with a loud clang, the sound echoing through the room, and her stance shifted naturally into a fighting posture. Her feet apart, hands steady, her body radiating calm confidence that could only come from years of training. For the first time, Jason felt a flicker of doubt. "What's this?" he sneered, trying to cover his nervousness. "You think you can fight me?" Emily's eyes didn't waver. "No," she said firmly, "I know I can." The cafeteria fell into stunned silence, every pair of eyes locked on the unfolding confrontation. Students pulling out their phones to record what was about to become the most unforgettable moment of the year. Jason took a step forward, trying to intimidate her with his height, but Emily remained calm, her stance unshaken, her eyes sharp. "This should be good," one of his friends muttered, laughing nervously, but no one else dared to speak. Jason reached out to shove her shoulder, but in one fluid motion, Emily blocked his hand, twisted his wrist, and spun him around, sending him stumbling back with a cry of surprise. The crowd gasped. Jason's friends stood up, half ready to intervene, but stopped when Emily's eyes darted toward them with such sharp confidence that even they hesitated. Jason, red-faced and embarrassed, lunged at her again, but Emily sidestepped swiftly, delivering a perfect roundhouse kick that stopped inches from his face, her foot hovering in the air with precision and control. The cafeteria went dead silent, the only sound Jason's heavy breathing as he froze in place, realizing she could have taken him down in an instant. Slowly, Emily lowered her leg and stepped back, her voice steady and commanding. "I'm not here to fight anyone," she said, her tone filled with authority. "But I will not let you, or anyone, treat me, or anyone else, like this again." Jason's bravado crumbled, his face pale as he looked around and saw that no one was laughing anymore. The very friends who once cheered him on now stared at him with wide eyes, impressed not by him, but by the quiet girl he had just underestimated. Emily bent down calmly, picked up her books once again, and straightened her soaked blouse as though nothing had happened. But her presence filled the entire room with a quiet, unshakable power. Jason muttered something under his breath, too humiliated to fight further, and quickly stormed out of the cafeteria, his gang trailing behind him in awkward silence. The students who remained erupted in cheers, some clapping, others chanting Emily's name, their admiration growing by the second. For the first time since arriving at Crestwood High, Emily felt no fear of being seen. Her strength had spoken for itself. Over the next few days, whispers spread like wildfire. Did you hear about the new girl? She's a Taekwondo champion. Jason didn't stand a chance. Emily became a quiet symbol of courage, and students who once walked in fear of bullies now looked to her as a source of inspiration. But Emily never sought the spotlight. She remained the same humble, disciplined girl she had always been, reminding everyone who asked that true strength was not about showing off. It was about standing up for what was right. And though Jason's pride was shattered, even he had learned a lesson he would never forget, that underestimating others based on appearances could lead to the most humbling defeat. The cafeteria incident became a legend, a story passed around in classrooms, hallways, and social media, inspiring more and more students to find their own courage. And for those who watched Emily that day, they realized something powerful. Heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they're just quiet people with unshakable will.